Hi, my name is Mr. Eli Kisso, and I'm the upcoming Year 7 2021 Year Advisor at Homebush Boys High School. I'd like to give you a little bit of an introduction about the Student Wellbeing Team, who's involved, and what are some of the key roles and responsibilities to ensure that all our future students can come to Homebush Boys High School and enjoy a safe learning environment. Firstly, I would like to introduce and make familiar some of the Student Wellbeing Team members at Homebush Boys High School for 2021. We have Mrs. Anna Paliathedoris, who is the Year 7 Deputy Principal, Miss Annabelle Chapman, the Head Teacher of Welfare, myself, Mr. Eli Kisso, who will be in charge of Year 7 as the Year 7 Advisor for Student Wellbeing. Next to me and working closely with me as my assistant is Sithangan Thanabalasingham, who will also be in charge in driving wellbeing for Year 7 2021 and making sure that all our students can have a great, safe learning experience while they're at Homebush Boys High School. Other team members also include, we have Mrs. Kelly Whelan, who is the Enrollment Officer at Homebush Boys High School. Alongside her, Ms. Janelle Hariatopoulos and Mrs. Hatis Senkan are both part of the fantastic learning and support team we have here at Homebush Boys High School. Ms. Lisa Bryan is our newly appointed Transition Officer, who ensures that the transition from Year 6 into Year 7 for all our students is smooth. Maria Hong is our Community Liaison Officer who works closely with our Korean student cohort. Lauren DiBiase is our newly appointed Student Support Officer. Catherine Gudgeon and Kim Gain are our school counsellors. Now a bit about myself. So as mentioned, my name is Mr. Eli Kisso, and alongside me, Mr. Suthangan Thanabalasingham will be working together to ensure that each student who does attend Homebush Boys next year as a Year 7 student can individually be supported and ensure they have a connection to the school. We also have a responsibility in assisting all the students and all the teachers around the school to ensure we create practical strategies that support the needs of each student. We also monitor trends in their overall student well-being. So we look at their social behavior, their attendance, their general well-being, and through this analysis, we create and promote proactive wellbeing initiatives to ensure all students feel safe at school, feel welcomed at school, feel connected at school. We are also the main point of contact for parents regarding student wellbeing. We work clearly and concisely with the wellbeing framework for schools developed by the Department of Education. So we want every student to succeed. We want them to connect to the school environment. We want them to feel like they feel valued. They feel like they are a part of the school environment. We feel like we also want them to succeed. And once they start connecting to the school environment, that we know that they are respected, valued, encouraged, and we can support them to succeed. And once we can do those first two steps, we also want them to thrive. We want them to flourish. We want them to prosper and become future leaders. We want them to become proactive contributors to the school and greater environment. Once we do that, we want to enable them. We want to continue to grow them. We want to make them understand that anything is possible, and whichever pathway they take in life, that we will be there to support them and ensure that that is done in a safe environment so they can succeed. The first few weeks of high school can be quite daunting for new students. However, at Homebush Boys High School, we came up with a proactive strategy to ensure that all students who come to the high school can transition as easy as possible. That's why this year, within the first 2 to 3 weeks, we focused on implementing a new induction program that will ease the transition for students at Homebush Boys High School. Week 1 and 2 have a core focus on this induction program. We hope that all students during this induction program can pick up key skills that will hope that their transition can be quite easier as time goes on in the first couple of weeks. High school is a new place for a lot of these students, and through this induction program, we want to alleviate some of those pressures. Now in week 3, we go on our traditional camp that Homebush Boys organises each year. This is a fantastic opportunity for all the students that are coming to Homebush Boys High School next year, as it will help them get to know the cohort better, make some new friends. It will also help them develop some resilience, as they'll be completing activities that they may have never completed before in their lives. This is a fantastic opportunity, and we urge all parents and all students to ensure that they attend this opportunity. Now, once they come back from the camp, as it's a three-day camp, on the last 2 days of week 3, they complete and finalize their induction program. Once this is done, we hope that all students can transition very easily into the life of a high school student at Homebush Boys High School. Week 4, the fun begins. All our faculties and all the curriculum and KLAs will be focusing on delivering the content within stage 4 and onwards. So we're hoping that within this period we can transition students, and once they come into week 4, school and regular timetable classes will start and all students will be able to have a fun and fantastic transition into high school. Mrs. Lisa Bryan is our transition officer for Year 7 2021 and onwards. She's going to be working closely amongst the Homebush Boys High School Wellbeing team to ensure that smooth transition for all students who come to the school. Now, particularly with Year 7, she'll be working closely with them in that induction program, the camp and those first few weeks that they're at school, and hopefully monitor and build students with a confident set of skills and tools that will ease their transition into high school. She will also liaise with different staff members and also the primary schools to ensure that we as a school have some proactive strategies in place to help transition and make each and every student feel comfortable and have a unique plan when coming into high school to ensure that they transition fantastically. Now, our enrollment officer, Mrs. Kelly Whelan. She supports students and members of the community during the enrollment process at Homebush Boys High School. So a lot of concerns to do with enrollment, a lot of concerns to do with certain elements of schooling in terms of the administrative side. Mrs. Kelly Whelan is somebody that will be a first point of contact via the school phone number through the office and the front office. However, it is my job here to tell you some of the most important things that need to be done as soon as possible once you watch this video. Now, the orientation day package that was sent to your homes, you would have also received a yellow envelope. Now, if you see the photo to the right of this presentation, that yellow envelope is a post-paid envelope, meaning that you can submit all your completed forms in that envelope, slot it into an Australia Post mailbox, and it will be received by Mrs. Kelly Whelan, who will then organise those documents. Now, it's very important what documents you need in this envelope, and we've made it as easy as possible with a checklist in your portfolio that you received in that package. Now, just to reaffirm, the blue form you've received needs to be handed in, which is the student use of computers form. Your BYOD student agreement form, which is the pink form. Your sports permission note, which is the yellow form. The special religious education letter, which is an opt-in or opt-out form, needs to be completed. And the camp permission note also needs to be completed. All put into that yellow envelope, put into an Australia Post box, and sent to the school. Now, another very important note, you may have noticed that there was a bit of a discrepancy with the orientation forms that we have sent you. On the forms, it stated that the camp had costed $288, and on another form, it has stated $290. The correct pricing for the camp is $290, and it is of utmost importance that as you are entering this transition period, your fees are paid on time alongside the documentation that will be sent to the school. At Homebush Boys High School, we're extremely fortunate to have a fantastic learning and support team. Mrs. Hatice Senkan and Mrs. Janelle Horiotopoulos support teachers in identifying and responding to the additional learning needs of all students, which basically means that every student that comes to this school is supported, is catered for, and all our tasks, all our classrooms are differentiated to ensure they have that best practice and best approach to support the students coming into the school next year. These learning and support team members facilitate and coordinate a whole school approach to improve the learning outcomes of all our students. They coordinate planning processes and resourcing for students with disabilities and additional learning and support needs. That ensures that whichever classroom that they're in, that they are supported, that it is differentiated and catered towards them. They also design and implement the support required for all teachers at Homebush Boys to understand how we can provide quality learning to all these students. Next, we are extremely fortunate to have a community liaison officer who works extremely closely with our Korean cohort, Mrs. Maria Hong. Mrs. Maria Hong is with us to work and support the school communities in the development of approaches to improve social, emotional, health and educational outcome for students, particularly within the Korean field and background. So she works extremely close with these students, members of community and parents to ensure that they feel supported, that they have an easy transition into high school, that they are always supported throughout their high schooling career and lifetime. She works closely with them and supports their well-being. She supports them through implementing support programs, involvement in the community, and being that medium of communication with the parents so they ensure they know what is happening while their students are at the school. At Homebush Boys High School, we're extremely fortunate to have two school counsellors that work together and work on an alternate basis to support the students by providing psychological counselling, assessment and intervention services. This is extremely important because sometimes all our students need somebody to talk to. Sometimes they keep things to themselves, and sometimes their teachers, their parents, their friends may not be the ones they wish to talk to. And this is where our school counsellors come in to ensure that we have adequate support and counselling by working collaboratively with principals, teachers, learning support teams, parents and carers, and other agencies to ensure they are supported in their learning and wellbeing outcomes at the school. Our counsellors are also exceptionally skilled in supporting them through their cognitive, emotional and behavioural assessments so we can develop proactive strategies to find the right pathway to support our students and make them feel safe, comfortable and relaxed while they're at school, and know that there's always somebody around to talk to. Our Student Support Officer for Year 7 2021 is Miss Lauren DiBiase. She's a new addition to our school and will work alongside students to improve their mental health and well-being. This is a great and fantastic opportunity for Homebush Boys High School, as Miss Lauren DiBiase has a wealth of experience to work within the school community alongside the learning support team, school counselling services, and teachers to enhance student well-being and learning outcomes. She gets to know the students and she gets to also give them a positive outlook on life by listening to them and understanding what they need to do to improve the experience they have at school. She really does support them in developing the social and emotional skills through targeted strength-based programs and strategies that build resilience, coping skills, and positive relationships while they're at Homebush Boys High School. So it's actually a blessing to have all these different support team members at Homebush Boys High School. It is extremely important to understand that whoever it is that was spoken about in this presentation is somebody that can help our students in the future, is somebody that will make their transition, make their support while they're at Homebush Boys High School one of utmost importance, and one that will always make sure that we put the students first and help them alongside. I hope you really enjoyed this presentation. I hope that out of this you've gained an understanding of how we help and support our students, and if there are any concerns or if there are any questions you have about the transition of your student or your child at Homebush Boys High School next year, by all means please contact the school, ask for anybody in this presentation. I'll be your first port of call, so ask for me, Mr. Eli Kiso, and I'll be more than happy to assist. We look forward to seeing you all next year and at the orientation day. Thank you very much.